Welcome to HBOLAX. This is Lizzie Pace.
This is Catherine Dudas.
We're the two foremost TV, film, pop culture, witch, period experts.
Curly girl
experts
method
in the universe.
Yeah.
Oh, curly girl expert.
Well,
you are. You are very good at hair.
That's very nice. I'm actually I'm a curly girl expert in that I do the first like 2 steps of like the 10 steps, and I'm amazing. I go, that's it. I go, so that's it. That's enough.
There's 10 steps.
There's so many steps, Lizzie. It's crazy. You have to put your head. You have to put your head in a bowl. And then the girls
head in a bowl?
The girlies out there are gonna know what I'm talking about. You flip your hair over, you put it in a bowl, you scrunch it. You gotta then give thanks to your third grandmother on your mother's side. Like you gotta do a lot of shit.
You pray to the grandmas.
You gotta pray to the grandmas.
Catherine is the expert in that, and today we're finally back for our HBO standard free episode.
We missed you.
We missed you. We've been recapping Severance Season 1 on the Patreon. Mm-hmm. That's patreon.com/HBOLAX.
So fun.
For the last few weeks.
Love it.
But I'm glad to get into, our meat and potatoes this
our
season,
beef,
which is...
Our beef and onions.
Yes.
A sausage. Yes.
This episode is actually called Beef.
It is called Beef.
This is Season 2, Episode 1 of The Bear.
Wait, Lizzie, before I forget, I would like to add an award for The Bear.
Okay. What is it?
Most Chicago moment. Most Chicago-y moment.
Most Chicago.
Most moment where they're like, we're in Chicago. Okay. Just before I forget. That should be one of them.
Okay, I like that. Most
Great.
Chicago.
Most
That's
Chicago.
A good award.
Yeah,
I will second that award.
Thank you.
We open on a kind of shocking scene here.
Yeah.
We see Marcus moisturizing this old lady who is
that was such a funny way for you
life
to say
support.
So it was such a funny way of saying that. Moisturizing an old lady.
Well,
I don't know.
That's what he's doing, right?
It is what he was doing.
Lotion?
You're right. That is what he was doing. I'm assuming it's his mom or his grandma. I would say, yeah, it's just moisturizing. I would say putting hand lotion on his grandma. Or his mom.
Putting hand lotion on a relative. Definitely a relative.
Definitely some sort of relative.
Is this his new job?
Oh,
Nursing?
yes.
But then he says, love you, which...
Yeah. That's pretty
big. Means
they know each other.
That's your relative. Good. We have a keen eye here.
Keen eye. That's where you get here.
Nothing gets past me. Love you. He's not a nurse now.
Oh my God.
And that's why you come here.
That's why you come.
The best in the biz.
The best in the biz to point things out, baby, that you might have missed.
That was a little Easter egg.
That was a little Easter egg. We cut to my most Chicago-y moment of the episode. Is lots of shots of Chicago.
Oh. Wait.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I thought you were going to say that he scrapes the ice off the windshield. I was like, is that your most?
No, that almost was.
This was my most unrelatable moment. Oh. I was like, that's a horrible thing that you have to do when you live somewhere cold.
That's so funny. I actually do have an unrelatable moment as well, but it's later on. I'm excited. Yeah, that's rough. That's a very Midwest. Guys, I need to put it up top. This is very important. My mother's from Chicago. I went to Notre Dame.
Oh.
I'm basically from the Midwest, even though I'm from Jersey. So
Wait, Notre Dame is where?
In Indiana, which is like 2 hours from Chicago. Yeah, it's like
it's close.
It's close to Chicago. It's like a little bit, but you fly into Chicago and then you take a bus forever into the sticks.
Oh.
Yeah. So I would fly into Chicago, take a 2-hour bus.
Wow.
It was
I didn't know Notre
rough.
Dame was so north.
It is north. I wish it wasn't. It was very
freezing?
cold. It was so cold. Like, it was so cold, Lizzie. and it was nice for one day. But go Irish. And just in case,
who says you don't have school spirit?
Me on every Patreon episode. You guys gotta sign up for that. Yes.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's where you get the deep stuff.
So yes, as a Chicago expert, lots of shots of Chicago. They are just being like, guys, you remember how last time this show had a lot of Chicago accents and it was very Chicago? We're now starting with the most Chicago. We're just going to show you, it's a Ferris Bueller's Day Off in here. Here's everything. Here's all these buildings. And you know what I thought was Chicago has a lot of tall buildings.
So I had the same thought. I was like, oh my God, they have a lot of tall buildings.
They do.
Way more than we do in LA.
Oh, way more. We have like 3 tall buildings. And
yeah, there's like the one from
and there's also
Die Hard, and then like a couple banks. Actually, I think that's a bank.
The one from Die Hard, that's so good.
I mean, like in the old times, the only people who had money to make a building like that were like the Pope.
Oh, yeah.
And, they make the Vatican.
Yeah.
But now, the only people who have money to make a skyscraper, they're banks.
The banks. So true. That's where all the jewels are. That's where...
We worship money.
We worship money, and we're fine with it.
And they're taking down the beef sign. And we see part 2. Okay, interesting.
Love it. Love this part 2. Feels like a movie vibes.
They're taking down all the stuff from the beef. The celeb photos, they're gone. They're going to have to get new celebs for their new restaurant. The sister is loosely managing the budget. Sugar. I like that they're involving her more in this season.
Yeah.
She was kind of periph.
She was.
You know who I missed, though?
Who?
Her husband.
Wait, I forget who the husband was.
The brother-in-law, he's like kind of this like doughy white man, and no one likes him. And Richie and Carmi are like, oh my God, that guy, he sucks. And he ends up going to the child birthday party they cater, and then drinking the Xanax.
Oh my God, I forgot about
passing out.
Oh wow!
I rewatched the season.
That was such a good episode.
In anticipation.
This is the kind of work we put in to eat this.
You're welcome.
You are welcome. I didn't. I just kept watching Severance. What I did was I kept.
Oh yeah, that's Severance. True. You've already watched all of Severance again.
We're supposed to go week by week, and I just went through. But yeah, they have
such good cliffhangers.
Such good cliffhangers.
They're cleaning the kitchen. Sydney spills some stuff. There's a lot of like pratfall type humor in this episode.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's true. Well, two May cooks in the kitchen.
Oh, look at that. Are you a chef? You know all these chef metaphors.
Chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
By the way, I feel like that should be our sign-off.
There, that was the easiest sign-off.
It's the horniest sign-off ever.
Yes, that's what you've all been waiting for.
I said yes, chef, by the way, in our Game of Roses episode we recorded today. And Chad was like, what? And he didn't get it. He hasn't watched.
He hasn't watched it? Oh, he has to watch it. I love when it bleeds together. I love it.
I kept saying it to him. He was annoyed, which is one of my favorite hobbies.
I love it so much. I love when I'm listening to Game of Roses and you're like poking Chad a little bit, and I can like see your see your face as you're doing. I can see the smile.
Oh yeah, the one I haven't done in a minute that I need to bring back is Sir. This is a Wendy's.
Oh, I love when you do that. It's so funny.
Rant.
It's just like long silence, Sir.
Anyway, that's Game of Roses. We're here to be HBOLAX,
yes,
though.
Baby.
And they are all naming all the stuff of the restaurant that is messed up. Mm-hmm. The fryer, the oven, the windows, etc. And they make this estimation. Carmi can't do math, but it's about $95K, we think, for everything.
Okay, loved this scene. I love the dialogue. It just reminded me how much I love the dialogue in this show. I love the pacing. This was a fun scene to start us off, to remind us this is an ensemble show, and yes, this was
quick
very
one-liners.
fun. Also very triggering, because this was literally an exact replica of me and my production company trying to find money for our next film. It's like, and we're trying to budget out our film, and we're trying to like spend as.
Did you write it on a pizza box?
Exactly. Yes, we wrote it on a pizza box.
You don't have money for notepads. You have to.
And now that I have
recycle.
I have a cool tattoo now, so I'm basically him, because he has a lot of hot tattoos, and now I have a hot arm tattoo. So,
question: as a new tattoo expert, do you know what E22 means?
No, but I thought it was 222, and I got really excited because that's a witchy number.
Lucky girl syndrome.
Lucky girl syndrome.
Oh.
That's like love and romance angel number, and I was like, oh my god, he's calling to me. So, but it's not. It's E22.
E22 tattoo.
Did you look it up?
Oh, it's the actor's tattoo.
Oh, I was wondering how many of these were actor and how much was put on. I feel like maybe it's just the actor.
Here's a whole article about it.
Oh, wow.
Someone made some of the tattoos.
Oh. Wow.
I created all of them with a friend who is a tattoo artist. Oh, custom ink for Carmi's character.
Obsessed.
Knowledge of history and art of tattoos and the geography of it.
Love.
You can see tattoos on older people, figure out where and when they got it. He made the tattoos for the bear, a rose, a snail with the words live fast, a hand with a knife through it, 2 angels surrounding a sun, the Grim Reaper, and a bottle of alcohol shaking hands in a spilled whiskey glass.
This is amazing. Those are all the fake ones?
Those are the fake ones. The real ones, he has one for mom, one for dad, one for his wife, one for his daughter. Ooh. All the safe ones.
All the safe ones. That's funny.
The triangle tattoo was for a couple friends when he was 17.
Wow. Okay, so that's incredible. That attention to detail, that kind of character shit I love. I wish I could just like be in on that conversation of like, I want to hear like the reasoning behind each of those. Like, and it's like, also that must really help you get into character, is putting on like literal tattoos on your hands.
Yeah.
That must so help.
I don't know what the E22 means.
Oh, all right.
Gonna bother me.
He's like, but you didn't say. Maybe it's probably his dad or maybe it's his.
E22 error code means the dishwasher filter is broke. That's probably not it.
Oh, that's kind of kitchen, you know?
Yeah, but would you get it that big? A dishwasher tattoo?
No, probably not. It's a little realistic.
Maybe the food particles getting clogged.
Wow, that is so.
His thoughts, triggers stopping him from.
So poetic. I'm obsessed with that. If that's true,
now I'm just reading. That's a deep cut.
That's so deep. I love that. It's so
sounds
specific.
like a real restaurant tattoo.
It does.
Yeah,
I love that. Oh, maybe they copied it
off
a chef. Anyway. So anyway, they are going to, I love that though. I'm so glad I know that now.
Sydney suggests that Natalie, aka Sugar, the sister, be their project manager. Mm-hmm. But she's not sure. And we see Carmi go downstairs to chat with Richie, his cousin, who is, I guess, been spending a lot of time down in the basement, and he's looking at old pictures. And he asks Carmi, do you ever think about your purpose? And so Carmi funny. Goes, I love you, but I don't have time for this.
That was so funny. It was so, God, his acting, I forgot how good it is. It's so good. Every line, he kills it.
Yeah, every line in this scene, I was like, oh, that's a meme.
Yes.
That's a gif.
And then he was like, I do have time.
What's my purpose, homie?
What's my purpose, homie? It's so sad.
He's wearing an original Burf shirt, which he says is a collectible because it's misprinted. And he says that he's been reading a book about a guy who watches trains, but all his friends are outgrowing him. What is this book?
This is so sad.
Do you know?
And he's like, they drop his ass. They just cut that motherfucker off. Why do they do that? So he's clearly, because he got no purpose. So he's identifying with this person in the story. And he says that, Carmi says, we're not going to drop this ass. And Richie is like, well, you like this. Like, I don't like this. You're at least having fun with this. And Carmi says, I don't have fun.
I don't know what this book is about the train watcher, but Richie is dealing with people outgrowing him. He says, I'm 45. I've been here a long time. You know, you love all this shit. And Carmi's like, I'm not going to drop your ass. This shit's not fun for me, even though I love it. And
then he said, if
Richie's like, well, what is fun for you?
And this was my
TBD.
Horniest moment of the week. Hear me out. It's a stretch, but it just was because it cuts to his face, and my initial thought in my head, he was like, well, what is fun for you? And it cuts to him looking sexy. In my head, I went sex. In my So I was like, sex is fun.
Catherine.
I was like, so
wow.
That was mine. So I don't know. You could read it
Great.
like that. I'm like, maybe this is the season.
I like this interpretation. I second it.
So funny.
But it's not my. I have a different.
Oh,
moment.
I'm excited to know yours.
We see a conversation between Tina and Sydney, and they're talking about the hierarchy. And Tina's like, "We need a new Sydney, a new sous chef." And Sydney's like, "Well, it's okay if all the kitchen cooking stuff is shitty. It's about the craftsperson."
Yeah.
Marcus joins, and they're like, "How is she?"
I love him.
And the nurse has had an emergency, but she's fine. I believe this is his mom.
Yes, I think so. He just, every time he enters a scene, it's just, he brings just the best energy. I love his dynamic with Sydney. I also love that Sydney and, I'm sorry, what's her name? Oh my God. Hold on.
Tina?
Yes, Tina. I like that it's like Sydney and Tina are like friends now.
Yeah.
Like, because that was like a whole big season conflict in the first season, was her winning over Tina's trust. And I'm like, I'm so happy we just like, they're friends. Like, that makes me happy. I'm like, we got through that conflict.
Yeah.
It's more interesting.
I mean, I'm very curious what that dynamic is going to be like going forward.
That's
with
true.
What we'll reveal later.
That is true.
We see Fack carrying out the video game. He's going to put it in his house. We see Marcus gathering his shit up. We see this awkward moment between Sydney and, what is the cousin's name?
Richie.
And we then see Carmi and his sister talking about money. And Sugar says, your estimation was close, but there's also an IRS stipulation, and you need to pay your debts before you get a new business license. And Carmi's like, why are you getting involved? Like, save yourself. Don't get involved. And Sugar's like, well, Sydney asked me to be project manager. Sydney joins them. And she updates them, restaurant updates. And then she says, just keep calm. And then she falls through this wall. Have you ever broken the drywall on a wall before?
No, have you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, is it the scariest feeling ever?
I opened a door once, and the doorknob went through the wall.
Oh my God.
It made a round hole.
Oh, that's the worst. That's so...
And I witnessed my psycho roommate threaten to kill my other roommate, and he punched a hole through our wall. And then I called the police.
Oh my God. Your life is so much more exciting than mine, Lizzie. That is...
Well, not anymore. Thank fucking Christ.
Now you have now you have a child.
Luca, he's always trying to eat my face. That's not a good roommate. That's a dramatic roommate situation.
That is a dramatic... peeing on your bed. Richie's upset that she broke through the wall, which was funny. And Sugar's like, A, fuck the red socks, which I love. And B, what has it been hiding for 5 years. And then this I didn't understand.
They kind of explain it on the backside of this, but they're like, the alarm goes off because the drywall has been fucked up.
Oh no, the crawl space. He says that it's it's been like that because of some Jewish lightning. And they're like, what? That sounds so offensive. And he's like, that's the result of some failed Jewish lightning. And I guess he explains that Jewish lightning is when people burn down buildings. And he was implying that they tried to burn it down for the insurance or something, the insurance money. Is that what he was implying?
I don't know. He's like, what? I haven't said the G or R words.
Yes.
And Richie is clearly like doing some anger management
Yes.
or something, like trying to not be such a dick. And the ultimate conclusion is there's not enough money. And this alarm is blaring the whole time. But I just feel like I guess it's to add to the stressful tone.
Yes, definitely helps add to this stressful tone. It was funny. It was funny to have the whole next scene of them pitching just with an alarm.
Yeah.
That was funny. And then with the they're having earplugs in.
Yes. So this next scene, they're pitching to Carmi's uncle Cicero, and about how they're going to make this great restaurant, and he's like, so let me get this straight. You're not giving me $300K that you owe me. You're asking for 500 more. And Sydney says, well, we're going to get a star. I believe this is a Michelin star.
I think so. I feel like probably.
Gonna go out on a limb here.
Experts. And then I really loved this little conversation where he's like, that's crazy. He's like, I've never had a star. She's like, you maintained a star. He's like, or she's like, yes, you did. And she thinks maintaining the star is the same as getting the star. And he's like, no, it's not. And it was really fun little two chefs bickering about that. And yes.
Yeah.
Okay. What is we should look up what
so
a Michelin
basically
star is.
Carmi then goes on a big risk. He is doubling down, and he says, if we don't pay you back in 18 months, you get the whole building and lot, which doesn't make sense loan-wise, because I guess it's worth $2 million.
I guess so.
The space.
I guess it's legally, from what I understand, I think the land must legally be Carmi's, like that his brother left him. So I think he would sell him.
Cicero was trying to buy it from him all season one.
Right. Okay, so he will give it to him if in 18 months they fail, but they need $800,000.
And they say, you can be a partner. And he's in. We then see the core group brainstorming, and Sugar says it'll take at least 6 months to open.
Which is so crazy. I couldn't believe it was good. I'm like, that's so many months.
Yeah, to change a restaurant that already exists into a... But I guess permits. I guess,
yes. I mean, we definitely heard from Sydney that there's a lot of bureaucracy. You need a rep to look at that. Yes, a lot of things to cut through. I guess making it look pretty, and I guess that is a lot of work. But 6 months just seems like a lot. Well, I mean, we'll see.
We have no frame of reference.
We have no. I was a hostess for 2 months.
But Sugar says making that happen is a CP Carmi problem. You were a hostess?
I was a hostess for exactly
where
2 months at the fanciest fucking restaurant in New York, in Brooklyn, called the River Cafe, and
oh wow,
I got sexually harassed multiple times. I had to wear a black dress, a cute short dress, and heels. And it was so traumatic. It was like right when I graduated college. I graduated college early to like go try my hand. Like I just want to see, like I was very like, I need to go audition. I need to go do things. And then I remember like being at this job and being like living at home in Jersey, commuting to this job and being like standing at the hostess thing, being like, what did I do? Like, what am I doing? It was horrible. Anyway,
oh my God.
Now I'm extremely happy with my life and my choices, and being an artist is a wonderful journey, and it's really hard, but it's really worth it. But I can't wait when I have money to go back there. I think about a lot. Well, not a lot, but every time I'm back in Brooklyn, I go, one day I'm going to walk in.
We should go back there once we hit a certain...
Yes. a certain milestone.
Listener count.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna walk in and give the hostess $100 as well.
And you got to dress in like sweatpants.
Yes, just in sweatpants.
That'll no, I don't.
But
know.
it is. I will say, in those 2 months, it is a very like you can definitely see. I've like it's a very family environment. Like people like the team is very much working together. It's like I feel like Anthony, what's his name? Anthony Bourdain says this thing about working in restaurants. It's like he's like, that's the thing that like will make you grow the most. It's like literally working in a restaurant, more than like any degree or anything. It's like you learn so much about people and camaraderie and just the most stressful situations ever. But yes, I am too weak famously to work in restaurants.
As a hostess?
Oh, as like, we're working in restaurants in general, like waiting, serving. But I'm famously too weak.
I don't think I could have done it. I think
crazy.
The memorization, any form of memorization.
And anyone can yell at you at any time.
I wouldn't be good.
Any customer service, I can.
And that,
so
I
bad.
would cry.
I cried so much, Lizzie. I went into the stall and I cried so much. I worked there 2 months.
As a
hostess, people were mean. Like, and the boss was mean, and the maitre d' was mean. Or one of the maitre d's. One of the maitre d's was nice. But
God.
It's just like, I feel, I'm sure there are listeners. I'm sure we have listeners who are like, yeah, it's really hard. But some people are meant to work in restaurants. Some people fucking thrive. Our friend Sarah Peterson, I feel like when she talks about it, she like really thrived as a server. Because she is strong.
Yeah, she was good networking for her.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, so I think
met a bunch of friends.
They're the yes. Everyone tip your waiters.
We see Tina telling Sydney, "Oh, your little trick about the barkeepers worked. I got a bunch of stains out of the pots." Okay, little bonding moment between them. She's listening to Sydney's ideas now. Mm-hmm. And then Sydney chases Tina out of the restaurant when she leaves and says, "Feel free to say no." And she says this 1,000,000 times before getting to the point. And this was my most relatable moment of the episode.
This was also my most relatable moment of the episode. This was everything she did in that scene, I was like, yep, that is me saying, me talking now. That's me talking now. It's on a Thursday night at 9 p.m.
You do have a similar cadence to Sydney.
That's funny.
I love that character because she's just like,
I feel very close to Sydney. Honestly, she is my most relatable character. This actress is just so good. And yes.
Did you know she started as a writer?
She did.
She was a writer on a couple shows, and then
you could tell she's smart.
I wish I could remember what it was. Yeah.
That's amazing.
But Tina produces tears and hugs and lifts her up. Wow. Tina is a muscle woman.
That's amazing.
We find out.
Now we know. Oh, this was so sweet. This was my heart. Oh, wait. My most unrelatable moment, I forgot. It was way back. It was when Carmi walked in and he was like, "Oh, are you hungry? I'm going to eat this." And his sister said, "No, I'm not hungry." Or like, I was hungry and now I'm not. I'm like nauseous. And I'm like, unrelatable. When I'm stressed, I eat. It seems like when she's stressed, she doesn't eat. Anyway, that was my unrelatable moment.
Oh.
I just remember.
Oh, I was confused by that scene. I was like, is she pregnant?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was like an interesting. It was like a random line to be highlighted. Yeah.
I don't know. I like that they're bringing her in, like, more.
It's a cute family thing.
You know, the family thing.
Cute family thing. It makes sense.
We see Marcus on the phone with the nurse. We see Ibra commenting on how it's so quiet. We see Richie finally post that Fenway poster again.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, he's
so funny.
I don't know. He's going through something. And we see that Carmi has framed the recipe card and goodbye note from his brother that says, "I love you, dude. Let it rip."
Oh my god. I did go back and I watched like half of the season finale of season 1 today, and then I had to go. But I watched his whole monologue again, that big monologue he says in the Al-Anon meeting. Oh god.
That scene is so long. It's like 10 minutes
It's crazy.
of him talking.
He memorized the longest monologue ever and delivers it perfectly. And it was just great. That's
I
how
thought you were
do
going to
it.
say when you were bringing up that you rewatched the finale, because I rewatched the finale right before this also. And when he reads the note and he's like, fuck you, I'm literally going to cry like talking about it. It's so like... This is my hormone moment of the podcast.
Oh, I love you. You're so cute when you cry. You're a beautiful crier. You have these big cartoon
Thank
eyes.
God.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Oh, that's so sweet. No, it's really beautiful. It's such a. I mean, also sibling stuff is like I think for both of us hits really hard. It's so fucking. It's so hard. And then yeah.
Okay. We then see the scene between Sydney and Carmi in the lockers. And they're like, well, I guess we're leaving.
Yes.
There's only so much we can do without permits.
And they're both, and they ask each other what they're doing, and they're both like, I don't know. And then they both leave. And I really thought, like in another show, they would have like hung out together, but they're like, okay, bye.
Exactly. When they say, what are you doing? This was my horniest moment of the week.
Oh, interesting.
There was tension. ST tense.
That's so interesting. I also had a bit of I wasn't completely convinced, but it did cross my mind. I was like, oh, are we doing some tench?
Are we gonna? I mean, I feel like there's tench season 1. Right?
I think so too. But you know what? Part of me really much
was
felt,
it in my mind?
To me, he felt more Big Brother-y to her. I don't know why I got a little more of a Big Brother vibe. But I could be wrong.
Well, there was also like a cutesy little moment with her and Marcus too. That's like,
also he flirts with her. I mean, obviously Carmi doesn't like flirt with anyone, but Marcus like flirts with her, and he's so cute.
Carmi's flirting with everyone. What do you mean?
He is.
She's just exuding it.
I mean, he's a sexual magnet, but I think he doesn't know he's being so seductive. He doesn't understand.
Okay, that was the part that did not ring true for me when in the Al-Anon monologue. He says, I never had girlfriends. And I was like, come on.
I know. You're telling me, I'm like.
Took me out of the scene completely.
Where it's basically watching House of the Dragon. Like, it's fantasy. He's
a loser.
Yeah, all right.
He doesn't get girls now. That's what we're supposed to. Okay.
Literally, I can't imagine what his DMs look like. Imagine what his DM requests look like. Let's see. And imagine that I'm 80% of them.
Imagine that all of my accounts are trying different one-liners to try to get out of that message request folder.
Make it out of that folder, baby. That's so funny.
After we just read the article about how he has a tattoo for each member of his family, including his wife.
I know, but they're divorced.
It was from 2022. Who knows? They're divorced?
They're separated, yeah. I know.
Because of the show?
It makes me worried. They've been okay, so I did a deep little dive into it. Come on.
Yeah, wait,
don't
how do
judge
you know
all.
this?
Well, I saw there was a post on Instagram on my Insta, it gives me it's like sometimes it's like celebrity gossip. I don't know, maybe the algorithm just picked up on sometimes I look at celebrity gossip. I don't know, or maybe it was random. Anyway, it was like they broke up. And then I went to her Instagram and she has this really heartbreaking post about how hard it is. It was like a Mother's Day post and talking about co-parent, she didn't like this beautiful post about she never imagined being a co-parent or a single parent. And it's like really, but like 2 posts before that, it's like her being like him holding the Emmy and her being like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. But apparently they were together since they were like 14. So and they have 2 kids, which is sad. But I will say like relationships that begin, not to stereotype, but it's like if it begins that early, it's it's hard, especially, but I'm worried that I'm worried that I don't know, is it a coincidence that he became the biggest heartthrob in the world and then he got divorced? Like, it's like he's the most number 1 heartthrob right now, which makes me sad. So it's sad. And we're going to wait a couple more episodes before we say
maybe she broke up with him.
Exactly. No. Oh, no.
I'm joking. I'm sure.
I mean, I don't want to accuse. I don't want to say, but I'm like, I'm worried that he cheated because I don't know. You know, maybe I should take that out. Men be cheating, as I see on TikTok.
Yeah.
It's alarming the amount of TikToks I see where people cheat. I mean, maybe I'm just seeing the bias. I'm only seeing the guys cheat, so I'm sure a lot of women cheat too. But anyway. Tangent.
They must be,
but it's just like a guy. Okay, it's just like from what I've heard, especially okay, like I've heard from my friends. I've had friends who are like, no, like my hot boyfriend gets a lot of DMs from girls, and it's like apparently like hot guys get a lot of DMs from girls, and actually we know that because I DM'd that hot guy. It's like we know it because I do it. So,
but you didn't. They were. Oh,
do you know what I mean? I think just when you're
in a relationship.
I just think when you're a hot. I just think when you're in a hot person, like girls don't care if you're in a relationship. I think there are girls out there. I've seen firsthand. There are a lot of girls who do not care if a guy. They think it's like a fun challenge. I think it's very horrible and sickening. I think you should be respectful of people's monogamy. But from what I've heard, a lot of women will knowingly DM a guy if he's hot, even though he's a girlfriend, because I think some girls are like, let me see if I can get him. And I think a guy, and then it depends on...
How you win them is how you lose them. Ooh, that's what I say.
That is...
I didn't make that up.
Amazing. I never heard that. How you win them and has how you lose them.
Is how you lose them. It's about, like, if you got with somebody who had a partner, they're going to cheat on you.
Interesting. Wow. I can't wait to edit this tomorrow and realize and figure out what I'm going to keep of what I'm blabbling about and what's going to stay.
Keep it all, baby, except for my old roommate's
nickname. Yeah.
I'm still scared of him.
No, oh yeah, of course. Oh my gosh. Oh God. As you should be, because men are scary. Clear. Oh God. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So
anyway,
they may or may not have sexual
where
tinge,
were we?
And then they go back home.
Yeah, maybe I'm projecting. We see him back home. He's fingering a pocket knife. He has this clear whiteboard and some books. He sees his old chef outfit.
I think, that must have been it,
which
right?
I guess is like, you gotta go be a chef? You don't have hobbies? Is that what we're supposed to think from this?
Yes, I think this is your whole world. It's like what he said. It's like, this is your whole world. And he probably was just like, he's like, no, I have to... he was like, it's ridiculous to going home early isn't going to cut it. He's like, if I want this to succeed, I have to go back. It has to become my whole life. It is my whole life, and it's going to continue to be my whole life, and for the next 18 months at least. It's like him making a decision.
He goes back. They all go back, and they say, we need to open ASAP. So I guess we're supposed to be like, oh, they all don't have a life outside, so they all came back?
I think so. I think this is like, and also, I think this is them being choosing to dive head first. They all made the choice. They're like, okay, there is a ticking time.
And they circle a new opening day date, and Sydney says, is this a terrible idea? And they're like, yeah, just making sure. So you're like, okay, I guess this new opening date is soon.
And it ends...
That's our cliffhanger. We end on that. Chef's gonna chef. They can't stop chefing.
They cannot stop chefing.
Too chef, too furious.
Yeah. And I love it. Yes, a good a good first episode of season 2. We set up our stakes. We have very clear stakes. This season will be about opening the restaurant.
Make or break.
Make or break. They're gonna... Carmi's gonna dive further into his obsession. And before it was like, okay, dealing with the aftermath of his brother's death. And I think maybe this season will be a little bit more about like, what is the thing he does for fun? What is his joy? What is... So I feel like because they talked about that a little bit, like what do you like for fun? So I think we will figure out what Carmi likes to do for fun.
We'll see Carmi have fun.
Sex.
AKA. Honestly, I think you might be right.
Imagine though, if after all the thirst trapping we did, I mean collectively women or people who like men, they don't include a sex scene in this season. Can you imagine?
That's what I mean. They're like, what's it gonna do for fun? We don't know.
This is what I mean.
There was no sex season 1.
No sex.
I'm pretty sure.
And it was shocking.
I just rewatched all of it.
And you know what? It was refreshing,
which
in a
was
way.
shocking
It was
because in my
shocking.
mind it was a very horny show.
Yes, yes, exactly.
But I guess that was just me.
No, I mean, I think, remember there was there is a New Yorker cartoon that it was like these men and women like in bed or like they just woke up and he was like, or they just had sex and he was like, why were you yelling yes chef so much? Like, he's like, who's chef?
Oh yeah, it was a thing. It was like yes chef is like a sexy thing.
Yes, exactly.
That was a meme.
Yeah. Right. So it's just interesting, and I think they were like, well, that's not what this show is about. But then I think, I don't know, is it a straight guy showrunner and he didn't realize that he was so sexy? And now they're like, oh, he's sexy.
Big mistake.
Huge.
I did see that they're gonna put some famous chefs are gonna be in this season.
Oh, that's fun.
Who we're not gonna recognize.
But I hope they're good actors. I don't want them to be bad actors. Just kidding. It is a woman who is Joanna Callow. But that makes sense though, because it was it felt very female gaze.
Yes.
She's so cool.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Especially the relationship between Sydney and Carmi.
Yes. Wait, okay. She's so impressive.
The female characters feel very real, and that makes sense.
Yes. I love that. Okay. But the creator was a man, Christopher Storer. But one of the co-showrunner is Joanna Callow. We got Christopher Storer is the other co-showrunner. But the creator is a man, Christopher Storer. But she's also a director on it, and she also worked on Hacks, and BoJack Horseman.
Jen Statsky's show.
Amazing, such a good show.
Worked on Good Place.
So amazing. Yes. So anyway, back to us trying to decide, predicting if there's going to be sex. Maybe there'll be sex this season.
I think we have to.
I
think you have to.
It would be really annoying. And I know it's just like, this is payback for all the times they had gratuitous in everything ever. They had gratuitous female objectification.
Yes, I think we should get some gratuitous.
Yes, just do it gratuitously.
Something.
To make up for Magic Mike 3. Lizzie and I went to see Magic Mike 3 and it was the worst.
What a disappointment.
Just nothing.
What a fucking disappointment.
Absolutely nothing.
Magic Mike XXL was the best sequel I've ever seen in my life. And then the third one, that was the second one. And then the third one, trash. It was shocking.
Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum were in different scenes. They would talk to each other, but they were in different scenes. I'm like, I don't know.
There was a whole scene that was a group Zoom.
Where it was like they were really on Zoom and it was so laggy.
That's where you're going to show your strippers.
Yes, and that's the only time on a laggy Zoom. We didn't even get to see that. Like, it was the most non-female, and also it's directed by a man. It was directed. It's like, it's not. How could you do that?
That's your problem.
You didn't ask me to direct Magic Mike 3. That's horrible.
Catherine and I would have done an amazing job co-directing.
Can you imagine, Lizzie?
You do all the directing parts, and I do kind of the overseeing. Like, yes, we need more of that. What's going on there?
God, that would be
more
my
Joe
dream.
Manganiello dancing in the gas station thing. In the quickie mart.
Oh my God, what a dream situation. I just turn to you and I go, yes. So you go, yes. Oh my God. I mean, it's just, guys. Also, just
I'll just be the oil person.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'll just
carry around a bin of oil. I'm the assistant director. This is what I do.
Sorry. That's what assistant directors do. Oh my God, that's so
That's
funny.
the biz.
That's the biz, baby. Oh God, we would be a dream. But anyway, guys, this was a fun first up. I guess
yes,
it's bingeable.
Chef.
Are you gonna watch it each week as we do it, right before we
I'm gonna watch it each week.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Because now I'm not on Twitter, so I won't be spoiled
Good.
unless any of you fuckers writes it in the comments, and you better not.
Don't. Oh yes, guys, don't write spoilers. Don't spoil for people who are going to do it the old-fashioned way.
Not in the
they're
comments.
They're going to HBO Lax
wait 10 weeks.
Yes, 10 weeks. And then even if you do binge it,
we didn't know they were going to drop it all at once.
But I think
that won't affect our schedule. We're going to release.
We're going to release one. It's a book club, you know. People can go ahead and read the book. It's like, you know, but we talk about the chapters, you know. That's why it's a book club.
Yeah. The book's already written. You could find a spoiler,
but you don't.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that...
Feel free to go along with us
Yes.
or watch ahead and see how dumb we are with our predictions early on.
Laugh at us
whatever you
prematurely.
Just don't
Be like
tell
those
us
idiots.
if there's sex scenes. Let us
No, let us be surprised.
enjoy it when it happens.
Let us enjoy it and try to predict it. Oh God, it's gonna be crazy. And then we have the whole Yellow Jacket season and about 3 episodes of Severance up on the Patreon. So
as well as our back catalog.
So
going back to our very first episode.
Yes, lots of fun things on the Patreon.
So join us there. Yeah. It's a great way to support the show. It's the only way to support the show. It is the only way, because we don't have free ads yet.
Yeah, if you would like to support us.
But think of it like just do it.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. I am poor, so you're not giving to. Yeah, I am a struggling artist, so
you're not donating
to a billionaire. You're not donating
here.
to. Yes, but
and it's not a donation.
It's not a donation.
You're just paying for the right amount for beautiful content.
Yes, and it's exactly what we do here. It's just a different show.
Cut this to be a good ad.
I'll put like fun music under it.
Skills.
I'll go. I'll like Frankenbit it.
HBOLAX Max, where we divulge the real shit.
Oh,
and
that's true.
Guess what? We're now putting where Catherine is on her cycle behind the paywall.
Yes,
so
you'll never know.
There's that.
You'll never know.
And Patreon listeners, don't tell anyone.
That's so funny. I told both my parents about my tattoo, guys, don't worry. And both of them took it pretty well. I'm 30 years old and I was so nervous to tell my parents I have a fucking tattoo on my arm. My dad took it so well that I think...
Wow, are you going to get more now?
I mean... Maybe. Now that yes, honestly, maybe. But my dad, when I told him, I feel like my mom...
E22.
My mom... E22? Oh my gosh. My dad acted too cool about it that I was like, I think my mom must have warned him before. I'm like, because I told her first. I'm like, I was like, I have a tattoo. He's like, oh, cool. Where? What is it? I was like, you're acting too chill about this.
He said where right away.
Like, oh, yeah,
she
exactly.
definitely told him.
Yeah, that's true.
100%.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Anyway, all right, this was so fun. And our sign
You're like, I have a tattoo. He's like, don't worry about where you're gonna be buried.
That's Judaism, but yeah, for all the strictness Catholics have, you think that would be one of them, but I will probably marry a Jewish man, so I just have, I just have a feeling.
Ooh.
Sometimes you just have feelings.
Well,
I won't be buried with him.
Slide into the DMs. Anyone out there? Anyone at all?
Anyone at all?
Just kidding.
No.
Only a prince.
Only a prince. Yes.
Only a beautiful, wonderful
I have high
prince.
standards now. That's what we're
Worthy
working
of
on
my
in therapy. Yes. Wait, I told you this. How my therapist.
I like that your light keeps going
I
off.
know, it's really annoying. My therapist, I'm using my like computer screen. My therapist was like, I'm really.
It seems like a dramatic
It
exit.
does seem like, yeah, it's like a blackout on a theater. My therapist.
That's what we're talking about in therapy.
Blackout. She was like, I'm really proud of you for not jumping into a relationship right away. And I'm like, I would love to. I would love to jump into another relationship.
Been trying.
I've been trying. She's like, yes, but you haven't. And I'm like, right. Anyway.
I'm proud of you too.
Thank you so much. I love you too. Yes, chef. I love you.
This is our horniest outro.
It was, yes.